Greetings, Ani, Bonjour, Kwekwe, Tanzi, Scano. It's Catherine and Brian from Moonstarlodge in South Central Ontario, Canada, with our Indigenous perspective on all things parapsychological and especially tarot. We're in the throes of spooky season, and my inner 3-year-old is having a good time. So I've got some more decks, different from last week's decks. And this reading is for October 13th to 19th. And I'll be using the same decks for the 20th to the 26th, I think. Anyway, this week we're using the Tarot of the Vampires by Ian Daniels. A lot of tarots in this week's deck. The Santa Muerte Oracle, and this is by Fabio Lestrani. There's a actual tarot that goes with that deck, but I've split them up for this week. The Cries of Souls Oracle by Rockpool, and this is by Isabel Surf. There's a companion deck to this that was issued earlier by Isabel, and it's called The Cries of Voices, and this is The Cries of Souls. I haven't used it in a reading before. I'm just kind of coming to terms with using it. The Oracle of Shapeshifters by Lucy Cavendish. Can't escape those children. Les Vampires, also by Lucy Cavendish. The Poe Tarot. I have two versions of Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. This one is by Tricia Leigh Schufelt. I don't remember who the other one is by, but it's interesting how it's the same subject, Edgar Allan Poe, but their treatment of his writings is different. The Occult Tarot by Travis McHenry, who is a prolific and knowledgeable person in tarot. He's got a Kickstarter out right now too. And the Macabre Tarot, and this is by Samantha West. I used a different one of her decks last week. I think the dog wants to get past you into her bed. Anyway, let's continue. As we film this, we're going into a major full moon, and I feel it already. All right, let's go to the cards, Brian. So I note from the different tarot that I'm using here, we've got a lot of 3s, a few 9s, and a lot of cups. Couple of duplications. I love when that happens. That's a form of validation for me. So I'm using the Samantha West deck for the main tarot this week, and one card from each of the other decks that I showed. Our significator here is the 3 of Crystals, which in this deck is the 3 of Pentacles. It's working together, working collectively, and the sense I get is the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's clarified by an interesting card here, a skeleton with a guitar, and it's an action card, taking action and taking action quickly. So it's suggesting that whoever we are working together with, we certainly don't have to work alone, and we need to not spend a lot of time back and forth, back and forth. So it's telling us we've, as the significator does, that that's setting the tone for the week, working collectively and moving quickly. The star is the second card. It's hopes and dreams and health and a light in the darkness, differently than the moon. It's interesting that it's clarified by the star card from a different deck. So we are to really focus on our connection to the ancestors. In indigenous culture, the star people, the winged ones, we also called them, helped us make the kind of steps and transitions with hope and with positivity. So we're moving quickly, collectively, and we've got health and good energies and a pathfinder, really. It's followed by the haunting of cups. Here's our first cups. The haunting in this deck is the Queen of Cups, and she's I dare say we've got two queens as well. I'm just listening here for a moment. The kind of love and emotional integrity, emotional maturity, even more to the point, is going to hold us in good stead this week, not to get imbalanced here in this grouping that we're working with. Staying mature and clear. Sometimes I am reminded of Gail Fairfield's work on the intrinsic, looking inward, and the extrinsic. When a card, particularly a court card like this, is extrinsic. So the king would be extrinsic in that he's presiding emotionally and with intuition over the community. The queen is very much invested in intuition for those just immediately around her and her own person. And it's interesting that it's clarified here by the Three of Quills. This is from the Edgar Allan Poe deck. And it says, "But the void within my heart refused, even thus to be filled. I longed for the love which had before filled it to overflowing." That's using more the Rider-Waite idea of feeling suffering and feeling lost. I tend to see, when I have the kinds of cards that I do, these star cards, the court cards, the hermit here next, that really it's not that particular RWS meaning that's implied here. This is more about the wisdom of experience expanding our horizons. It's another 3. So we need to look at the harmony of self, the harmony of the universe, the collective consciousness, grandfather, sun, grandmother, moon, whatever higher aspect we can connect with, to have the same disposition here as our intuitively mature queen. So we're taking experience from the past here and putting it up as a learning. So moving from the Queen, we get to the Hermit. Much like the star, he has a single light that's directing. I used him, but the Hermit can be female, obviously. It should be non-gendered. That was Samantha's intention with this deck. We don't know the gender of these people. So acting as the archetype in Jungian thinking of the Hermit, we are taking our time away from the collective. We're still kind of looking down there. But we need to seek some inner knowledge first. And keep moving back and forth between the knowledge we bring for ourselves, the knowledge we bring to this collective. We're still working with this group, but there are times we need to pull away. When I look at what clarifies this, it's the Nine of Swords. This ancient being is Lerai, which causes great battles and wars, causes wounds to putrefy. This is inner turmoil, inner conflict. So we need to be careful not to bring inner conflict. Separate it from what my elders would call a wisdom walk. That's what the Hermit is on, a wisdom walk. So intuitively, this feels like old stuff. But whatabouts that we bring into, we think this is wisdom from past experiences, but not all experiences are going to follow in future instances because we've learned. So let's be careful not to bring this dude, Lerai, into our journey. I'm seeing the haunting of crystals. That's another queen. This is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is a lovely way of bringing heart wide open, heart available to all. It's a lovingness, it's material. So we know that the earth element is about our material, third dimensional life. It's our home, it's our family, it's our job if we have one. It's our avocation, it's time. Time is very much a commodity in this third dimension. Land and resources. Time is as much a resource as money. It's important to how we use any of it. So she's here saying, don't worry about losing things on whatever this is we're building. We have to be careful not to let old thinking patterns come into the queue. But the exact card that clarifies here for our Queen of Crystals is Anti-Hero, a maverick, a risk taker, a rule breaker. So this Queen archetype here needs to embrace a little bit of this other archetype. Have a little sauce and a little sass. It's consistent with this card here, actually. All right, so let's get moving here to the Ten of Cups. And we know that it's another cup, and it's full of love, full of intuition, the family that has everything in the emotional plane that we could possibly want. So it's beautiful, and absolutely, absolutely beautiful. And this is clarified by little brother, little sister, siblings, younger friends. It's a responsibility to the generations. And very much, this is kind of like the Ten of Pentacles, this Ten of Cup cards. It's a legacy. We're building legacy for family. And we are to remember little brothers, little sisters, other family, and remember our responsibility. And the last card here is the Three of Cups. So we start with the Three of Crystals. We end up here with, we've got a Three of Swords. And now we've got this Three of Cups. How lovely. So this is a party, as it were. This is making sure that it isn't all work and no fun. We've got to have fun by the end of the week. It looks like there's a celebration of getting over a lot of self-imposed hurdles here through our wisdom. And the clarifier here is the dependency card. I build healthy foundations and boundaries for myself and others. So, you can flip the camera, Brian. This sounds like a pretty excellent third going into fourth quarter of Weaves the Web. Getting much closer to Samhain and our ancestors being present to us more and more as the days go by and the veil gets thinner and the nights get crisper and colder and the days have some sun. Yeah, this is a very positive, aware, this feels like a very aware, very grounded week. So, we thank you for your thumbs up, like button pushes. Ask your favorite spirit being to push that button after you do. Subscribe. We appreciate the support through the coffee platform and the support of actual coffee. We look forward to your comments, and I just wanted Judy Eakley to know that there's some competition here. Leonard has an ancestor. Kind of a pretty one, too. All right. Miigwech, Yoen, Aho, peace.